All right, hey everybody, welcome to the webinar, Guaranteed Ways to Get Your Video Played or Your Videos Played. My name is Steve Passanelli. I'm going to be your host here today. We're going to wait just about 60 seconds for everyone to come on. We don't want the people that were here on time to have to wait though, so we will get started fairly quickly here. But while we're waiting those 60 seconds, go into the chat room or go into the chat drop down there and let us know where you're coming to us from. Let us know how the weather is where you are. Let us know what you're doing today, and we will kick this off very, very soon. Let me open up my chat box here. Philadelphia. All right, yeah, and that's where I am as well. So it is hot. I have to turn off my air for the presentation here, so hopefully it doesn't get too hot in my tiny little office in my garage. A couple of Philadelphians. Wow, this is going so fast. Colorado Springs, Virginia Beach. Very nice. Canada, Columbus, Ohio. Don't turn off the AC. Yeah, I wish I could. I think it would be loud for you guys if I didn't turn off my air conditioner. So, well, great. We have a bunch of people on, so I am not going to make you guys wait, as I mentioned before. And we are going to get right to it. Thank you for joining us here today. You know, this is a super interesting topic. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And you know, it's funny. It's applicable for video and email video and YouTube videos, what we're going to talk about here today. But it's pretty much applicable for any type of content that you are creating. And that is the need and the want to get someone or to get someone's attention. Because just because someone made a TV show doesn't mean that we're gonna watch it as consumers. Just because someone wrote a book doesn't mean you're going to read it. Just because someone wrote a song doesn't mean you're going to listen to it. And just because you created a video doesn't mean someone's going to watch it. And that's the premise here today. How can we create videos that people actually want to watch? And we're going to go through a few different frameworks and strategies that we've learned over here at BombBomb for quite some time. And before we get into that, just want to introduce you to Alexa and Mandy, who we also have on the webinar here today. Say hi, Alexa. Say hi, Mandy.
Hi, guys. Hi.
They are here to happily answer any questions that you guys may have. As I mentioned before, you can use the chat, but if you do have a very specific question, go to the Q&A drop down that you see on your screen there, and that section is designed specifically for questions, and more likely, or they'll be more likely able to see that question that you are posting. So yeah, thank you for joining us here today, Alexa and Mandy as well. And let's kick this off. If you ever asked yourself this question, why didn't she play my video? Why didn't he play my video? Then you're asking yourself the wrong question. And this is the premise. This is what we're going to dive deep on for this webinar here today. My name is Steve Passanelli. I am with BombBomb. I serve in the marketing department at BombBomb, and I was actually a BombBomb customer as well as a BombBomb employee. Obviously, I'm currently an employee. And so I have a deep passion for video and getting video in front of more people more often, and what works and what doesn't. And I want to share with you some of those stories here today. We're going to do it through this agenda here. This is going to be a quick webinar. I think we can get it done in about 35 minutes or so, because we're very focused on a singular topic. And that's just getting the video played. We're really not going to focus on anything else. We're not going to focus on CTAs at the end. We're not going to focus on the type of text that you use. We're just going to focus on strategies of getting videos played, whether you're a BombBomb customer or not. Whether you want your videos played on YouTube, or you want your videos played in BombBomb, or maybe you just want to get your videos played in Facebook, a lot of the strategies that we're going to talk about will be applicable to all three formats. Now, of course, my area of expertise is within BombBomb, so I'm going to talk about video email the most, whether you have BombBomb or another system that's out there. But as I mentioned, all these strategies will be applicable to any place where you're using video in your business. So let's just do a quick poll. And I want to know how many of you that are on here today actually have a BombBomb account. Do we have mostly BombBomb customers on here, which I would imagine that we do. And you should be able to go in and answer that poll there. We already have hundreds of responses, so thank you guys so much for for being so engaged here. We do have a few people, 16 people on the webinar that don't have BombBomb here, and 3 people that had it, but not anymore so far. So thank you guys. We already have 75% of you voted, so that's a great number. I'm going to end the poll just so I know who we are dealing with here today. I can go a bit deeper into those BombBomb strategies since we have so many great customers on the line, and thank you for being a customer as well. So this is the premise, and this is the agenda. We're going to go through why video, just a minute or so throughout the presentation. You guys are already using video. You probably know why video. That's going to be fast. We're going to go over the philosophy behind getting your videos played, the questions that you need to ask yourself before and really directly after you create your video. We're going to go through the mechanics. There's different mechanics, whether you're placing a video into BombBomb or you're placing a video into YouTube, for example. And I'll share some screenshots and some basic mechanics behind doing that. We're going to go over just a few tools, not too many. It's going to be a minor topic. And the main topic here for today is going to be the tuned method. And that's an acronym for a strategy that you can use to gain more attention, to attract more attention, because it comes down to this: your visibility precedes your ability. Your visibility trumps your ability. Visibility is more important than ability. Visibility wins. Why? Because if you don't have visibility, then you never get a chance to showcase your ability. The person that is visible has most at-bats, and even if their ability isn't that great, they will still win because they have that visibility. That's exactly what video is going to give to you. And information is easier to access than ever, and your attention is more valuable than ever. And that is one of the benefits that video can provide if you do it correctly. Oh, and I also, before I get into the 3 questions that you're supposed to ask yourself here, if you do have questions, I did mention the Q&A box. I will pause a few times throughout the webinar and answer some of those questions. I can't see them live and on the fly, so I just wanted to let you know. But I will get to them, so don't worry. I'm not ignoring you, and Alexa and Mandy will either answer them through text or I'll answer them live. All right, so how do you create a video worth playing? Well, that really is step 1. That's the most important step, really, of guaranteed ways of getting your video played. Now, can we guarantee that every video is going to be played? Well, absolutely not, but I can guarantee you that if you follow these strategies, more of your videos will be played. And it all starts here with the philosophy behind creating your videos. And so the first one here is, will I benefit from a video? If you're going to create a video worth playing, then first you need to know if you, as the sender, as the creator, as the person uploading to YouTube, will you benefit from a video? Will it help you save time? Will it help you communicate more clearly? Will it help you build rapport? And we'll go through the 10 ways or the 10 times that video beats text here on the very next slide. So I'm going to go fast through this one because I'm going to give you all the times that you'll benefit from using video, especially in a one-to-one context. Number 2, is my message valuable to the recipient? This is one of the things that I hear all the time at BombBomb. People will have a mass email list, for example, and they'll try text-based email, and they'll send out some mass emails, and they'll say, email doesn't work anymore. I'm not getting great engagement. I'm not getting great open rates. I'm not getting great click-through rates. And then they'll come talk to us, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to use video because it's going to improve my engagement. And then they use video, and unfortunately, they get maybe marginally better results or similar results. And what it comes down to is the messaging. Is the message valuable to the recipient? If you're simply using video or email or anything else to spam people and get your agenda across rather than providing value for them, then you're not going to really see a big uptick in using video, and you're going to be disappointed. So know that your message still needs to be valuable for the recipient. That's an important and key component in creating videos that get played each and every time. Also, just speaking to the mass email topic, if you are mass emailing people, the harder it is, the larger the group, the harder it is to stay relevant to that large group. It's easier to be valuable and more personal when you do have a smaller group. Now, if you're using YouTube, it takes care of that for you because people are searching for the topic that you created your video on. So it's a bit different right there. And finally, the third question to ask yourself to create a video worth playing is, will video enhance their experience? Will it benefit you? Is there value for the consumer in your video? And will using the medium of video actually enhance the experience? Because the answer isn't always yes. The answer isn't always yes. If you're giving someone a list of something to do, video doesn't necessarily enhance that experience. Does video enhance an experience where you're demoing something with your hands, perhaps? Perhaps absolutely it can, and we'll dive into that here on this next slide. You need to make sure that the video is welcomed, that the communication is valuable, and you need someone's attention. So in chapter 6 of Rehumanize Your Business, how many people purchased Rehumanize Your Business? You can just pop it right in the chat room right there. I see people raising their hands. Great, thanks Joanne and Stacy and Gary and Travis. Thank you guys for wow, my screen is filling up with hand raises now. Thank you for purchasing the book. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the section there. In the book, it's in chapter 6, and these are the 10 times video beats text. So these are the opportunities where it's better for you to send video. But one of the things, after you write a book, and Ethan and I wrote this together, one of the things that you think about when it's done are all the subtle changes and the things that you would have made to the book. Because we addressed why and when video is valuable for you, but we didn't go as far into making sure that other half of the equation is met with it being as valuable to the recipient or the customer. And the other thing is, there's really 11 times that video beats text. And the last one here, which isn't in the book, which I just thought of recently, I'm like, I can't believe we didn't put that in there. It's demonstration. These are all opportunities where video is going to be a better method of communication because it involves emotion. It involves negative or positive emotion. It involves building trust or rapport with someone. You can see that demonstration is clearly an opportunity when video beats text, especially if you're demoing a product with your hands or showing someone something physical that they actually need to see. That is a perfect time to use video, whether you're sending it out through BombBomb or you're creating a video for YouTube or something else. So we went through the times where video is great for you guys. I want to get back to this question. Why didn't she play my video? Because I mentioned in the beginning of the webinar that if you're asking yourself this question, you're asking yourself the wrong question, because this is the one that you should be asking, and this will get you in the right mindset to send videos that actually get played. And for those of you that remember, those of you that aren't high 30,000 foot level people and you'd like to get right into the nitty gritty, I promise you in about 7 minutes here, in about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, we're going to get into the very specifics on exactly what to do for your thumbnails and tools and everything else. So just bear with me, but we have to make sure we cover both people. So why didn't she play my video? A better question here, and write this down if you're following along in this webinar, is this: why would she play my video? Why would he play my video? What's great about this question is you ask, why didn't they play my video after the fact, where you have no control over the situation anymore? When you ask this question, you're asking this question before you send, before you upload the video that you want someone or people to see. And it gives the question a future orientation. And just like we were talking about on the previous 2 slides, it demands a focus on customer value. It makes you empathize with the recipient and make sure that you know that you're delivering something of value. And if that is something of value and video benefits you because you need to build trust or rapport, or it's emotional, and video is the best medium to do it in, that's the precursor. Those are the 3 questions, and that's the precursor. And if you can say yes to all 3 of those questions, then you greatly increased your chances of getting someone to play a video. Now, I could have skipped this entire section in the beginning of this webinar and got right to the tactics and the how-tos and the tricks to get people to play a video. But if those prerequisites aren't met before you get into the tricks, then you're going to trick someone into playing a video. They're going to watch a video, and here's an important statement. every email, every video email you send, every video that you upload to YouTube or Facebook teaches someone whether or not they should watch your next video. And so if you're just using the tricks without the fundamentals, then they're not getting something of value. They couldn't identify as a great person or a great fit for the content that you're creating in your video, and you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Because video, of course, helps you solve a number of different problems. The digital barrier and the lack of trust, that we have through digital mediums and communication, the lack of attention. We're going to go through attention here in a few brief moments. Helps you with top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, the tofu and the bofu. Helps you with slow pipeline and stalled communications because people respond to human beings. And if you go to chapter 3 in the book, and I'm not going to get into this now, but go to chapter 3 in the book, Rehumanize Your Business, and it'll walk you through exactly why video is beneficial in communication. So let's start getting into some of the tactics. And before we do that, Alexa, is there anything, how are we doing on time here? About halfway through, great. Is there anything that we need to address for the audience? Any important questions that popped up before we continue?
We have one great question from Eric in the Q&A. He says, some video email recipients tell me they're fearful of viruses or malware. So if they open a video, and how to calm them down when they open it.
That they're fearful. So in general, if someone is fearful of a virus, what's great if you're using something like BombBomb is it's not an attachment. And so usually it alleviates the fear, a bit more, but you never know who you're sending videos to, and someone might not be, tech savvy and still fearful of clicking on a link or clicking on something. And that's honestly just something that requires a great relationship with someone. If someone knows you, better chance of them clicking on that particular link. You can add a little, we're going to go through the anatomy of a video email here in a moment, and where you put the text, and you might want to add a little line of text underneath automatically using snippets in your BombBomb account if you are a BombBomb customer, which will automatically pop that text in there for you. If you don't know about snippets, make sure you check it out. You go to our website and check it out, because you can save pre-written lines of text. Makes it super simple and easy. So I don't know if that's a great answer to your question, because there's not one simple solution or one simple answer to that question. So. All right, well, let's continue on here. Anatomy of an email, the anatomy of a YouTube video, the anatomy of even a Facebook video. Let's start with email here first. I'm going to go fast through this one because my next screen is going to dial it in every single step. But the important parts of getting your videos played when sending them through email, of course, is your subject line, because if they don't open the darn email, then there's no way your video is going to get played. So that is extremely important. The email body, which is broken down into 2 sections, which we'll go over in a moment, and the animated preview, which that's where we're going to spend literally 12 to 13 minutes on, is going through different animated previews and attention grabbing techniques for getting people to play it. YouTube, very similar, just slightly different. You see the subject line is the equivalent to the video title in YouTube. We'll see some screenshots here in a moment. The description of the video and the thumbnail. Now, if you're using BombBomb, it has an animated preview. When that video hits their email inbox, the video is playing, it's moving. On YouTube, it's got that static thumbnail, unless you do that little hover over, and then it'll flip from screen to screen. But in general, you're working with a thumbnail. Slightly different strategy there, which we'll talk about. And then a fourth one there is the amount of views, because they definitely highlight the views. And the more views, of course, the more comfortable you feel watching that information. And then finally, we have Facebook here. Facebook, you don't really have to worry about a title. You're literally uploading a video and the text that goes with it. And the video is autoplay for most people. That is the default. So as you scroll, the video is already playing. So that's definitely a guaranteed way to get your video played. So there's more importance and reliance upon the actual content of the video there. We won't dive into Facebook too much. We're mainly going to stick to email and YouTube because of that dynamic. So let's start with email here. So I have a sample email on my screen. We talked about the subject line here already. With your subject line, you always want to use some form of clarity or curiosity. Be as clear as possible on what this email contains. And if the person's not interested, that's fine. Or use a curiosity element and start the story in the subject line and do a ... or ask a question in the subject line. Get them thinking, because people as human beings, they need to complete things. Start off with a thought-provoking statement or a sentence in the subject line. It generally works in getting people to open that email. Text above your video. It's important in your video emails to add text above the video. Do I do this all the time? No, I do not. But especially if you're emailing someone and you're adding a video into your email that you don't know and you don't have a great relationship with. If you don't add text above your video, and it can just be one sentence. A lot of times I just type in a single sentence. But if you don't add text above your video, the preview pane where someone is viewing their emails will say click to play video. Is it the worst thing that can happen? No. But would you rather have control over what they see when they're scanning through the 100 emails they received today and they're deciding whether or not they want to click on your email or swipe you into oblivion as they check their email? Yeah, I'd probably want a bit more control. This is the important one. Or I'm sorry, it's the one after. The video is obviously very important, the play and the pitch, which we're going to get into that in a moment. But right here, the text below the video, this is of the utmost importance, and a lot of people are not doing it. Any text below. Sometimes I just write, please watch the video above with a smiley face. A lot of times I'll just watch that. Just that little bit of text does something very, very important for you. And if anybody can guess what it is right now, I'm going to go to the chat. The first person to guess what this does for you by adding text below the video, and the answer that I'm thinking, because I guess it can do multiple things, will win a book. We'll send you a book, Rehumanize Your Business book. So let's see. I don't have the chat up here. Found spam filters credibility. Action personalize it. I don't see it yet. Eliminates. Oh, I can't read. Alexa, check to see if that if Nancy Jonker, I can't read the end of her message here. It's close. The signature line is close, but I can't see if Nancy Jonker has the right answer because it's too long and mine's truncated for some.
I'm not seeing a Nancy on here. Try to search.
We will find the appropriate answer. I'm going to give you the answer right now to make sure that we have the correct winner. But here is the answer. The reason why you need text below is because of this. If you do not put text below your video, Gmail will automatically truncate, and a lot of other email programs will automatically truncate that. And now you're going to be sitting there wondering, why didn't they play my video? Well, they didn't play your video because they didn't see your video, because it's just something that Gmail automatically does. When you add text below, then it won't truncate it, and the video will be in place, because a lot of times when you go back and forth in communication on Gmail, it'll take that signature line off. It'll do the ... to keep you focused on the message. So Alexa, I don't know if you found a winner in there, the first person to answer, and if you didn't find them right now, that's okay too. Maybe by the end of the webinar, we'll have that winner, and we'll send out a book. Thanks for participating, everybody. All right. So finally, a CTA at the bottom. I had to add that in because I'm a marketer. I can't have a video course without telling you to have a CTA on the bottom. You always want someone to do something. So, all right, we went through the anatomy of a video email. Let's quickly go through the anatomy of a YouTube and then talk about some animated previews and thumbnails. Now for YouTube, again, it's all about generating attention. I just did a quick screen grab of the recommended videos on the homepage of my YouTube. And what stands out to you guys the most looking at this particular screen? The videos that have the text on top, or videos with familiar faces. That's what stands out to you. These are all great videos. They're all getting recommended here, of course. The one that surprises me the most is this one in the middle, because this one does not have any text. I'm going to show you why that's bad in a moment. Does not have a recognizable face. The person's like really far away. So that means the value and the topic must be great, and that's how it rose to the top. You know, these aren't hard, fast truths. These are just heuristics to live by here when you're creating videos. So attention, you need text, you need faces. We'll get to that in a second. And search and recommendations. You know, when you're watching a video, at the end of the video, it gives you recommendations. On the side of the screen, it gives you recommendations. If you want ways to get your video played, we need to optimize our thumbnails and optimize our YouTube videos for attention on the screen like this. And this is what we were talking about previously. If you guys can see my cursor there, I think you can. The title, a little bit of text right underneath, and then you have your thumbnail. Those are the three most important parts of getting your video played. And you can see that here, you know, the text right there on the video is extremely important. Why is that so important? And again, that appears on the side here when you're watching videos, and you can see that on this screen. Why is that so important? It's because of this stat and this reason. YouTube's recommendations drive 70% of what people watch on YouTube. Where did I get that from? The chief product officer of YouTube. So probably fairly accurate statement right there. 70% of what we watch is driven by the recommendations on the screen. If you want your YouTube videos played, then guess what? You need text. Why? Because look, I finished watching this 7-minute video right here on my screen. It was 7 minutes long. I got to the end there, and I got all these videos popping up. I have no idea what this video is. I have no idea what this video is or this video. I'm not clicking on any of these. The only ones that I might click on are the ones, of course, with faces, because faces are more compelling to people, and the ones with text, so I know what the heck the video is about. That's why every video you upload to YouTube should have text. If you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. So don't worry. So we need text. That's why we need text. We need faces. There's a lot of reasons why faces are important. You can check it out in the book. I'll give you 2 quick ones here. One is mirror neurons. This is a real thing. I didn't just make that up. And they are, you can do a Google search. Anything that's on Google, it's got to be accurate. But what they do, they make us experience emotions that are being viewed. And that happens, and it happens in an instant when you look at faces and smiling faces. And so even as a baby, and we talk about that in the book as well, you recognize faces. Faces are so important to humanity. Instagram pics, faces generate 38% more likes than Instagram pics with no faces. And you guys know how important the faces are to people, because if my daughter asks me something, over the phone, or it comes through, one of my sons or something like that, it's, no, you can't have that snack. No, you can't have that extra, or that dessert or that cake or something. You had enough sweets today. But if my daughter walks up to me and says, Daddy, and looks at me in the eye, and there's her face right there, it is hard to say no. Faces are so important to people. And yeah, Sophia's face, it gets me every single time. So text, faces, and topic, just like we talked about. Before we get to getting your videos played, one more quick tip here for you. If you are creating YouTube videos and you're not using Canva to generate your thumbnails, which is just an easy way to do it, Canva, if you go to C-A-N-V-A, check out the spelling on the top, go to the search right in the middle and type in you, and you'll see YouTube thumbnail. And they have the size, and they have templates, and they have everything built out here for you to put the text right on top and make compelling thumbnails that take advantage of that 70% recommendation rate on YouTube. I hope that made sense to everybody. I went through it rather quickly, and we're going to be hope you guys don't mind, we're going to be about 10 minutes over on this webinar, because now we're going to get to the tuned analogy. But Alexa, we good with questions? Anything that I thoroughly messed up in that explanation that I need to clarify?
I think you're good. We got a couple of questions, but we're just going through and answering those.
Okay, great. So let's talk about getting your videos played and the specific tactics and the psychology behind it. This is one of my favorite parts. I look at a lot of videos, a lot of thumbnails, and I ask myself all the time, why would that person play that? Why did they play that? Oh my God, that's amazing. I would play that. And I love the psychology behind it. You see a lot of great thumbnails on the screen right here, and we're gonna dissect some of these thumbnails right now. So some of the things you need to be aware of, if you're sending videos through BombBomb or through email or through another service, most of you guys are using BombBomb, then we have the pre-click and we have the post-click. The pre-click is what the person is going to see in an animation. And actually, I'll jump forward here just so you guys can see that. For those of you that aren't familiar with BombBomb, you can see these little animated previews right here. This is before they click the button. They're going to see this little animated preview in their inbox. These are the things that you want to be thinking about in that pre-click environment. Movement works great. I'll share a lot of examples of that here in a moment. Your location, your environment. You can see, like right here, you guys can tell a little bit about me. Guess what I like to do as a hobby? It's right here. Little mantra up on top, drawing of my kids over here on the side. You get to know a little bit about me. So location and environment is extremely important in a pre-click. Can tell people about you. Gestures and your hands and your eye contact or lack thereof, facial expressions, even posture, all these things play a role in a pre-click, which we'll look at that in a moment. And then once they are playing it, to keep them engaged, then it's your register, your pitch, your prosody, timbre, pace, and volume. All of these things are important, as well as the continuation of your body movement and posture. So let's see these in action. Method number 1 of 5 of guaranteed ways of getting your video played, name plus. I like to call this name plus, and a lot of times it's name plus emotion. Just like I told you to use Canva for your thumbnails for YouTube, you're not going to use Canva here. You don't want to send BombBomb videos and spend 3 minutes, even if it only takes 3 minutes to create a thumbnail to use for BombBomb. BombBomb does the animations, and what works better is the old analog. I just sent one out today. Thank you, Jim. The horrible picture of a beer on the side. It looks more like a frothy coffee or something. But handwritten, analog signature, not digital. Hold it up just like you see right there, and add their name plus something else. You can see, I love this one, Manish, yikes. Like, oh my God, like you're gonna click that. If you see your name in yikes, you're gonna click that. So it can be positive emotion. Be careful with a negative emotion, but that could work too. And I absolutely love this one here. This is April Sunshine, the best name ever, April Sunshine. And she's with the Story Brand company, great company too. And this one has all the right elements. We're gonna talk about these 3 elements in a few slides because it has emotion, it has intent, it has the name. And now it doesn't have the name plus, but there's a little emotion with the squigglies around the side. So first tip, use the name. Second tip, detail. Add some type of detail about the recipient. Just don't put their name down all the time. Add a detail. You can see this example right here. This person looked up their information on LinkedIn, found out they like coffees from around the world, actually put the company logo on the darn coffee cup and put, hello, Omri. And this is Omar sending to Omri. And he got a response back and said, you got my attention. I'll look up my calendar and book a time to chat. And it was simply because he took the time out of his day to look up a specific detail for that animated preview. Using the screen recording, BombBomb has an amazing screen recorder that allows you to be on someone's web page, be on their website, be on, here's another prime and great example here. Oh, let me skip forward one. Being on Google Earth and a little aerial view of someone's home. That is some detail. If you want to get someone to play a video, if you're a real estate agent, for example, and you're on a Google Earth view of someone's neighborhood, that's going to get them to play the video. I want to go back here because this one was also great too. This is just a pro move. It's moving from the screen recorder to the handwritten note. And so it really stands out. It really grabs attention. Now, that animated preview is only 3 seconds, so you gotta be itchy on that trigger finger to go from your whiteboard right into the screenshot, but it's definitely a pro move. Shane Ryan does really, really well with strategies like that. So the detail strategy, look up their information online. If you're reaching out to a VP or someone from another company, look up their content that they're creating for their company. Look up if they wrote a book, if they have a guide or white paper, and show them that you read that content and reach out with their own words. It's exactly what Ethan's doing right here. He is reaching out with Daniel Pink's own words. That is exactly, you want to see how valuable taking time to personalize something is? We didn't know Dan Pink. Daniel Pink wrote the first recommendation on our book on the back. How did we get that recommendation if we had no idea who Dan Pink was and was sending a cold email? That is it. That's it right there. That's how we got it. Pretty amazing. I'm still amazed by that. And then their interests. If you're not in like B2B sales and you're a real estate agent or you're a mortgage, you can reach out to someone and just show an interest in sports teams, or they're interested in cars or motorcycles or activities, whatever it may be. So number 2 is detail. Number 3 out of 5 is emotion. I got this from Rebecca. Rebecca's a VP over here at BombBomb. And I don't know, you see someone so happy and doing the side clap with the head tilted, I'm gonna play that video. I wanna know what she's happy about. But it also works the exact opposite direction. This is Kyle at BombBomb. Kyle, by mistake, sent my personal cell phone number out to thousands of people in a mass email. And I'm getting all these phone calls. I'm like, what's going on? And then I received this video email from Kyle, and I connected 2 and 2 together. And so emotion works well. There's a 0% chance I was going to play that video after Kyle sent my personal phone number to thousands of people. We're all good. It's just a tiny mistake. Kyle is the man. I don't want you guys to have a bad impression of Kyle. Number 4, pattern disrupt, the unexpected. This is another guaranteed way of getting your video played. Do something unique, do something interesting. There's nothing more boring than watching a person sitting at their desk like this for their video, and then they just begin talking, and they wonder why their video isn't getting played. One, they're not conveying that it's personalized for the recipient. Two, there's no emotion involved in that video. Three, they're not being creative whatsoever. And you don't have to do things totally out of the box, but like hold something up, hold up a prop. You have this rich level of communication that you can use through video. Take advantage of it. There's Justin and Danny doing just that. I love this one. This one's Chris Brown. He came to our Rehumanize event too. I think he's featured in the book as well, if I remember correctly. Everything blends together. But I love that. That's actually a mass video email that he sends, and he gets plays on that all the time. It goes out automatically in certain scenarios, and so great thumbnail right there. So we have the unexpected. Oh, also this one too. This one got a 56% play rate on a mass email as well because, well, people are standing out in the snow. And we actually sent this as a follow-up at a conference we were at where Wim Hof, the Iceman, was speaking and talking about cold therapy. So there's the unexpected video email. Finally, the fifth tip, and I'll give you a supplemental one here before we start closing this out, is team. The more people you bring into it, the better. When more people give their time and you show that you're giving time, there's a better chance that they're going to reciprocate and give that time directly back to you and play that video and most likely respond at the same time. Give team members, other people, your children, your dog, put them in there. Switch it up. Be creative. Be unique in your animated previews. That's how you're going to get your videos played. And then a supplemental one here, which we kind of already mentioned. These are graphics from the book, Surroundings. You can see my surrounding, and you can see the backdrop there. I think that backdrop was pulled from Andy Alger, Ken Mucha, where he had the pictures from his kids in the background and awards and things like that. So people can tell a lot from your surroundings. You might be wondering, Steve, how in the world? Oh, and I have a great story. PricewaterhouseCoopers, they were pitching Coke, and they were using BombBomb, and they put a bunch of Coke bottles behind in their video, and that's all it took. They got a specific response. Coke responded to them and was like, "That was awesome. What were you using to do that?" And it was simply because the detail that we went into was right in the background with the Coke bottle right there. So how are you going to remember to do this? Well, came up with a quick and easy acronym for you, and it's the TUNED acronym. This is how you're going to create animated thumbnails or GIFs or animated GIFs or thumbnails that work. It's team, unexpected, name, emotion, and detail. And then we have that bonus one of surroundings. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll change this one to stunned, because we can actually add S in the beginning and it still sort of kind of makes sense. You can choose the one that you like the best. Tuned or stunned, so you remember the surroundings at the same time. So let's start wrapping this up here. I want to leave you with this. Your message effectiveness is a simple equation. It's the personalization that you put into your video, the intention of your video, which is usually displayed in the text, and that could be the text in your YouTube video or the text in your email, and then the expression that you give. All of those things divided over duration. The longer the video is, the worse off you are. And so brevity is important. So you take personal intention and expression, you remember that through the PI acronym right there. So PI over duration, and that is your message and your video effectiveness. This is a prime example of a fantastic equation with Alicia, with the personalization. You see her expression. She had great intention with the text that she used in that email, and the duration's only 53 seconds. Great video. Now, because I praised Shane earlier, I can do this. Here's a video of Shane. Expression, not so hot. Personalization, none. I got this email from Shane 2 days ago, and I meant to play it, but it was 2 minutes long, and I didn't know what it was about. And then I got a follow-up email like, "Hey, can you respond to me for that video?" And I thought about it in terms of this equation. And I didn't have the time to watch it right then. I did have the intent in watching it later, but did not. But it was lacking some of those elements. And it's so important to add those elements in. So for a recap, you want to create a video worth playing. That is the most important thing. All these other tactics you can throw out the door if you don't have a video worth playing. The mechanics, we walked through the mechanics both for a YouTube video and a video in an email. Went over some tools, screen recording in BombBomb, animated previews, BombBomb, Canva. And then we went over the tuned methodology or the stunned methodology, which I think I'm gonna have to change. You guys type that into the chat. Which one's better? Should I just use surroundings as a supplement and go with tuned, or is it stunned? Let me know which one you like better, because I think stunned has two ends. Anyway, let me know which one you like better. Type it in the chat. And ultimately, this all leads you to being seen, being heard, and being understood. And this is what we want as human beings. That's what we want. We want to be seen, heard, and understood. Video can help you get there. For those of you that do not have a BombBomb account and you want to try this out, we have a 14-day free trial. Go to bombbomb.com. Sign up for the trial right now when you just watch this class, because hopefully you're excited. Hopefully you got some great tips. Hopefully you're motivated to move forward with some of these tips. I know this is a very focused and direct class. We only focused on one specific thing, but I feel sometimes those deeper classes are a bit better, and we want to try it out here. Let us know if you liked it. Or two, if you do have a BombBomb account and you don't have the book, go to Amazon. I think it's still on sale right now. On Amazon from Prime Day, you can pick it up right there. You'll learn everything that you need to know about creating great videos in this book. And Alexa, should we give away another book or two? What can we come up with? Like, who had a really great question that you answered throughout? Maybe we'll give away like 3 books or something to people watching. So who had great questions, and should we give out some more books, Alexa?
Yeah, that sounds great. I think we should give out 3 books, and we'll go through the questions and pick 3 of the best questions we've gotten at the end of this webinar.
Great. Well, that's pretty much it. We wanted to make it quick and concise. I tried to do it in a half hour. I failed and did it in 40 minutes. So yeah, any questions you guys have, I'm going to go down through the list right now. I see the chat blowing up. I still see we have unanswered questions. So feel free to stick around. I'm just going to talk with everyone here. Everyone's saying I'm getting a lot more stunned. Stunned looks like it's the one. Oh, thanks, David. David said great presentation. Another great presentation. We appreciate it. Try to bring as much value as possible. Thanks, Simon. God, I love BombBomb. Book me. Josh had a great question. Ooh, let's look at Josh's question. Maybe we can answer that live right now too. Let me go to the questions box and see what we have going on over here. And let's see if we can pick some right now. Keep people on board. And you know what? I'm going to stop sharing my screen for the moment, so we can go full screen. Should be able to see us full screen now. Ken Ped says, somebody told me that email programs not play the animation or even cut out. Yes, it's mainly Outlook, and it's a setting that you can do in Outlook. Most emails do allow you to see graphics, and there's no difference between a graphic and an animation. So it's the same thing. And so if someone has an email that doesn't allow any graphics in, and it's usually some kind of like stodgy financial company or something like that, that has everything like locked down so tight, then yes, that won't come through. And then that's when you want to use the text underneath and say, hey, there's a video above, click play and try to direct them to do so. But it's not really that often. And you'll get, with BombBomb, you'll get play rates, and you'll be able to see how many times your video is being played. Hopefully that answered your question. I use Canva for many reasons at work, including my own templates. What should the measurements be for the email templates as a top header? Might have been a little small sometimes. I don't know about for a header, but for videos, you want to use the video size like a 1080p measurement, which is, and I forget the exact pixel ratio, but Canva should pick it automatically for you. I just want to be able to have my video with my client's house on the screen too. You can definitely do that, Aaron. Aaron, are you still on? Type into the chat. If you're still on here, Aaron, just say yes into the chat. Aaron Pardini. Aaron Pardini. I don't see. Oh, yeah, there. Good, Aaron. So let me answer your question. You can definitely do that. So let me share my screen again. And this isn't going to work exactly because I'm already sharing video. But I should probably think twice about going into my email live in front of this whole group. Doesn't look like there's anything terrible on here. So here's my email. What people love to do, if you want to share a house, so I'm just going to go on to realtor.com here. And I'll just click on any old property. I'll click on this property here. So if you want to have someone's photos up in the background or something like that, all you need to do is just hit the record screen button. And you guys aren't going to be able to see some of these screens because it won't come through. But if I start recording here, which I'll just do this and you'll be able to see the final version, so I can like click through and I'm recording. I'm going to hit stop and you guys should be able to see this here in a moment. Yeah. So what we just did here, so I can like click through and I'm recording. I'm going to hit stop and you guys should be able to. So you see what we have? Like I can actually have a house up, I can have a neighborhood up, I can have my photo up on the same time. That's all through our screen recording feature that we have. So I will take that off there. Hopefully you guys you could see that well enough. And let's get back to, 39 questions now. Questions are flying in here. Do you have any tips for SMS or text? SMS or text really fall under the same thing, but remember, you're not going to have a title. You have a description that would actually be the text below, and you want to provide value. You want to utilize use the curiosity gap. Hey, play the video above too. You always have to provide a reason for someone to do something. People always want to know because. If you want to see some interesting studies, go online and search for the word because. And there's all these studies that show that simply by using that word because, it is compelling for people to actually do something. There's a really interesting study about a copying machine, which I won't get into. But tell them, watch the video above because, and it can be that simple. I'd recommend a one-liner, and that's it. Watch the video above because. Can you post stunned in the chat the meaning? Yeah. So let me get my slides out here again. And technically all I have here is the tuned, but I'll go to chat. Just remember the S is surroundings. The S is surroundings. We'll do all panelists and attendees. I think that worked. Yep, there it is. And then just remember surroundings as well. Oh, could you guys not see the screen? Now I'm seeing all these comments. Hopefully you can see the screen, or hopefully you can at least just hear me. We do have a screen recorder. It does allow you to do those types of things. How can I use Canva and screen recording? You really wouldn't want to do a screen recording of Canva, Amy, unless you were teaching someone how to use Canva. That would be it. Canva is designed to help you create thumbnails, help you put text on thumbnails for YouTube videos. You wouldn't even use Canva in that sense for BombBomb. BombBomb creates the animated GIFs for you. You want to stick with the animated GIFs and you should be good to go. If you're a BombBomb customer, can someone help me get set up using your ideas? Absolutely. We have a great CS team with real people that live right here and they're right out of Colorado, and they will be more than happy to help you. I like Stone, great value. Thank you, Jimmy. What is the best CRM for BombBomb? There's a lot of CRMs. That is a long answer to that question, and it really depends on your style of business. Do you generate more leads? Do you focus more on repeat and referral? Do you like processes and automations? How deep do you want to go? Like if you want deep automations and you're willing to put the time and effort in, you would maybe use something like RealVol. If you want something like out of the box contactually, and then some people don't like contactually because it's owned by a brokerage. I mean, so unfortunately, I can't answer that one right now, but there's a bunch that work great, and you can find the ones that work great for BombBomb on BombBomb.com/integrations. BombBomb.com/integrations. Okay. Oh, my questions froze. There's so many questions here, it froze. Alexa or Mandy, do you want to fire some out here? Mine froze. Sorry. Go ahead, Alexa. Sorry.
What was that? An ideal video? Like, what's the ideal site video link? I've got that.
Yeah, there's like an inverse relationship between the relationship that you have with the person and the length of your video. In general, again, this is a heuristic. In general, you can get away with a longer video if you know the person better. The less you know that person, the shorter the video should be. That's my easiest and most concise answer. Eduardo has a great question. What about when your targets are CEOs in a conservative industry? The name on the whiteboard may turn them off. Any suggestions? In our experience, so we're big in the SaaS space. we send emails to C-level executives all the time pitching BombBomb. We work with different BDR centers that reach out to executives and C-level people. And we haven't found that to be the case at all. Any type of people appreciate personalization. Why? Because we are so inundated today with automation and things being created and time not being spent and put into communication, put into our work. And what we've noticed, I mean, this is hand over fist, night and day, that overall, you might catch someone here and there, but overall, doesn't matter who they are, they appreciate personalization in the time that you spend. Ooh, I don't know. I'm a Mac fan. I don't know about editing software for Windows, Christina, but besides, you know, the Adobe Premiere and the Adobe suite of products overall, if you really want to get into it. Yeah, so this is a great question. April Miller. I don't know if you're still on here, April. We still have 303 people on, so chances are you are. I work for a school, and they want me to be super professional. And even if you don't work for a school, it's probably relevant for you. They want me to be super professional in the videos. However, I feel like you guys encourage more casual videos instead. Do you think professional is important to a broad audience, whereas personal is more important to an individual? Or do you think casual is fine for a broad audience and personal? April, you hit the nail on the head. You are correct. There is a time and place for polished videos. And if you work for a school and you want that school to seem like they have their stuff together, then you're going to want a nice polished video with a great script built in. You're going to want to practice that script to make sure it comes off naturally. And that is the style of video for that use case. However, when you're communicating with people one-to-one, so someone inquires, and I don't know how this works, but someone inquires about the school and they come in and they're debating and choosing from different schools. If that counselor sends a personal video back from their desk and just says, hey, I just wanted to check in, you know, I know that you were blah, 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 that raw video, that type of unrehearsed video, there's an authenticity shiny inversion. And the less shiny something is, the more authentic it feels. And that's a great, that's a great, great example. Okay. Oh, quickly describe a way to use it on LinkedIn messaging. It is very similar, LinkedIn messaging, to Facebook. And I know we went through that, you know, we went through Facebook rather quickly because you're just basically getting the text, you know, and the video, and you scroll through and the video is right there on your screen. So the same dynamic would occur. It all comes down to the content. Is your content interesting? It's less about the tricks. When you're doing something on BombBomb and YouTube, it's all about that attention, right? And the beginning of your video, for sure, on LinkedIn, it's all about that attention, and can you keep and hold their attention? My question, could you please send me a book? Ha! Woody Woodman. Either way, this was a blast. Thanks, Woody. I'll let the girls decide if that qualifies for a book. I'll let Mandy and Alexa decide. Oh, this is a good question. Melinda would love to know what percentage, ooh, that just moved on me. What percentage of opening emails is good, better, best? Oh, videos. So video play rates. Video play rates on a one-to-one should be about 50%. Video play rates for a mass send, and I'm going by memory, this might not be accurate, but it's darn close if it's not, is like 10 to 12% on a mass email, somewhere in that. And I'll have to double check that one. For one-to-one, it's a little over 50%. And so that's what you should be shooting for a one-to-one email. If you're not getting that, make sure you follow the tune velocity, make sure you personalize it, and you use the elements that we talked about here today. Yep, headphones work great. Actually, I just realized I have this fancy mic right here, which is not plugged in, so I'm using my microphone right on my laptop for this, have been using it for this entire presentation. Oh, right. Oh, Jay, you mentioned financial companies. You know, there is a chance. So I just want to throw it out there. We have a lot of customers in the financial industry. And so it's not like that everywhere. It's just certain groups of people that are a little bit more old school and have it more locked down. It's not everybody, but it is. it is out there, and you want to make sure that you track your email opens and your video plays to make sure that it's effective for you. Perfull. Thanks, Perfull. Emails, page, video, animation. Oh, yeah, John has a great question here. He says, the videos are animated when they're in emails, but when you use the video, then it uses the thumbnail. That is correct, John. That is the way they appear on a landing page. We have some exciting things coming up here for video plays in the future, but that is the way it works right now. Oh, Lewis has a great question. Why should I use BombBomb and not do it on my own? Main reason to use BombBomb is for speed and efficiency. You are better when you're face-to-face. BombBomb allows you to get there faster through a button in your Gmail, a button in your Salesforce, a button in your Outreach, a button in your Outlook, wherever it is, right where you work, built in, you click one button, you hit record, you hit send, it encodes, it optimizes for the recipient automatically. If you weren't using something like BombBomb, you would record the video on whatever device that you want, then you would upload it to YouTube, you would wait for it to encode, you would change the setting on it to make sure it was private, because BombBomb's designed for one-to-one communication, converting leads, things like that. And then after you set it private, then you go into your email, you paste in the graphic into your email, you send it out. And now you're sending people to YouTube to watch your video, which you just remove them from your call to action. So can you do it? Yes. Is it efficient? No. Is it optimized? No. Will you get the same results? No. No. And BombBomb does a bunch of other things as well, but that's the main reason. If you have BombBomb, you'll send videos. If you don't, you're not going to go through that process frequently. What is the counter behind you? On the right and behind. Is it my right? Your right? This is Yashica, or I don't know. This is a Ricoh. This was the very first camera that I bought in high school. First camera I've ever used. Okay. Gordon, the truncation is adding text below the video. They were just asking me, how do you combat the truncation of emails? And that's just like we talked in the webinar, using some text below. All right, there are a lot of questions in here, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get through all of these questions. I didn't think you guys would be this engaged. I am so happy and I'm grateful for you guys joining me here today. I appreciate the time that you took out of your day to give it to us here at BombBomb. Hopefully, we provided some value in return here for you. We are going to go through the questions here. We will announce the winners of the book. I don't know if you have the winners yet, Alexa and Mandy. Do you have any
Yep,
winners?
I have a list of 3 winners.
Oh, great. Okay, who are they?
Okay, so we have April Miller, Louis Lara, and Susan McKillop. And I will email you guys after this webinar to get your addresses so you can get a book.
Awesome. Congratulations, everybody. Hope you enjoy the book. If you already have it, give it to someone that might benefit from a more personal way to communicate. I hope everyone has a great Wednesday. Look out for our next webinar coming up. Do we know the topic of the next webinar, Alexa? Did we pick that yet?
Not yet. We will have that decided very soon, and we'll share it out with everybody.
Great. So we will respond. We will get to you with your questions here. Again, if you want to try BombBomb, go to bombbomb.com, go check out the book, and have a fantastic Wednesday. See you, everybody.